Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are taking photos along the Coeur d'Alene Lake Scenic Byway.
Plenty of lakes and bushes and trees to come.
Just another example how beauty is right off the beaten path.
Do they have ears? No.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris.
I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Kaya.
And welcome back to the channel.
Today we visit the scenic byway via the Coeur d'Alene Lakes in Idaho.
Nah, we just changed it up a little bit. So welcome to our Sunday fun day.
Check it out. Okay, so I said I thought snakes had ears. Is that right?
Yes, you did, and they do not.
They do not.
No.
So, and Kaya had to point it out. She was like, "Hey, listen, you sing the bears,
Right.
not the snakes." And so, how do you? Is it when you just stomp on the ground, they hear you coming?
Basically, they have a lot of, it's more sensory than hearing.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't really know. I'm not focused on animals that much as some people. They could probably tell us in the comments, but I know
Sure.
for a fact they do not hear.
That's great.
Well, I don't know. We'll look it up. So in the intro, we said that we were on the scenic byway, but that's not exactly what happened.
Not really. Not 100%.
So this is more of Sunday fun day. You see, we went out to go to the trails of Coeur d'Alene. However, when we got out there, we realized may not be the best day for photos.
Well, the maps took us to the headquarters, which was not where the trails were. The trails were one exit up, right? So when we were there, Krishan was like, "Oh, there's a cool church in the back." And you could tell them a little bit more about that. It was kind of
That's
cool.
not at all what
Yeah,
happened.
that is exactly what happened.
So what happened was we got over there and there was this amazing church there, one of the oldest buildings in the state of Idaho. So I was like, we're definitely taking photos. So we went inside, spoke to the park ranger, and they said, hey, $7 a carload. You can take all the pictures you like. So whipped the camera out, took some pictures, and those will be pictures we'll show in a different video. We got something very special planned for you guys later on in the summer.
Yeah, that church was really cool.
Yeah, we'll
enjoy
really
it.
enjoy showing them to you later on. But this right here is the byway. What was it called, Stephanie?
It's called the Coeur d'Alene Scenic Byway. And basically, it's just a fancy way of saying a road that runs by the lake. And it was beautiful. It winded and it went up and down. And it was like Kaya said it reminded her of a roller coaster. But it was extremely scenic. What do you think, Kaya? Pretty cool?
It was pretty cool. It basically went all the way around the lake, but it did skip part of the lake and go to the other end. So it's a fairly long road, and there's not a lot of places to turn around, but there are a lot of places to stop and take some great photos.
Well, this is another example of how I am a very linear thinker. I like to have a plan, know exactly
Yes.
where we're going, what we're going to be taking pictures of. But Miss Stephanie here, she's all about the adventure. So this is definitely in our wheelhouse.
Well, so what happened was we were coming back from the headquarters of the Trail of the Coeur d'Alene, and Krishan was like, hey, there's a sign for the byway, a scenic byway. Let's go there. And I thought, when he said byway, I thought bypass. And I was like, no, we don't want to pass it up. We actually want to go and drive on the river. Anyway, to make a long story short, we had to go down several exits, turn around, come back, and then finally we got off on the byway. Well worth it.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly because, oftentimes you turn off too early and then you get back in the car and drive along and something even more amazing is just right over the pass. So we were able to go down, make sure nothing else was out there, then double back and come and get some amazing pictures. We only got a few pictures in the byway because it's summertime, everything's pretty green. It's not like the fall and in the spring where everything was colorful. So we really wanted to go out there, try something new. And there are some amazing pictures within this video. I can't wait to walk you through them.
My favorite part was being on top looking down because when we go out to take photos, we're pretty much at eye level for most things in most places. But what I really enjoyed about this was literally you're like hanging off a cliff and you're taking pictures like looking down. So down on the lake, down on the roads, down on the buildings. And I think earlier you got a picture, Krishan, of the boats in the arena. So looking down on those. And is that particular shot called anything when you shoot down on a subject?
I couldn't tell you, but it definitely shows how just a different height can give you a whole different perspective on the landscape pictures that you're taking.
Now I'm going to get on Krishan here just a second. So he's like, oh, what you doing in the road? You're in the road. You're in the road. And then I turned around and then he got in the road.
Hey,
What's that all about?
hey, life's about competition. I can't let you get this shot that I can get better.
I'm
So,
like, how you gonna get on me about being in the road, right,
but,
Kaya? And
but
then he
it's
gonna turn around and try to get in the road.
but it's all about the adventure. And that's one thing I've learned along this photography journey. I'm more of an introvert, so I'll stick to myself. I'll stay in my lane. But oftentimes, the best opportunities happen when we get outside of our comfort zone. We do something a little different, and we try to see the world from someone else's perspective.
Yeah, I think Kaya really enjoyed it too. Didn't you take a few pictures too?
I took a few pictures, but I feel like an iPhone can't really capture what you can see yourself, and also couldn't compare to what the photos you guys took with the cameras. So
Most of the time I usually, like when we're like on photo trips and things like that, I can usually kind of look at the scenery as we're going by, but I had to rely on Kaya and Krishan to do more looking at the scenery, because those hills, we were like some really steep hills, and it was winding right, left, and literally if you didn't watch what you were doing, you could literally drive off the cliff. So I had to let them be my eyes on when we should stop and take photos. So this was a separate part of the scenic byway a little bit, and this was a little bit different from the rest, right, Krishan?
Yeah, we had to actually double back to get that picture. But as you see, we didn't stay in the scenic byway for long. We eventually made our way to downtown Spokane because we been watching Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. And we wanted to try some techniques that we've seen online. And there's so many different opportunities to take pictures downtown. That's why we go there quite frequently to get those amazing landscape pictures.
And you'll see we've got some shots of downtown Spokane kind of sprinkled in just where I thought they would work the best. But our footage is of the bypass, just because it was so beautiful. And you'll see us just kind of running and getting certain shots and things like that. I do feel like there are a lot of lakes and rivers in Washington, but I feel like each one is just a little bit different and it has its own unique personality. Mainly this one, I liked it because it was kind of like up in the hills. And so you could get different perspectives and different vantage points from the camera on the different shots. And is that called something different? Like when you get different vantage points, is there a camera term for that, Krishan?
If there is, I don't know. We're all just enjoying the journey. But that's one thing I've noticed as we get further into this photography thing. You get to go out, and as I've gone further along, I have a vision in my mind of the picture I want to get. Mm-hmm. Like there was a time here we were driving down the byway, and I saw this reflection in the water, and I told Stephanie, like, hey, we got to come back and get that shot. Mm-hmm. I have something I want to do in post that will really come out well. And this is one example of that. When I saw the sun hitting the water, I knew that when I got it in post, I can make that reflection look really good. And it really came out here, how you can see how with just a little bit of creativity, you can take reality and turn it into something totally different.
What I like about this picture is, can you see it? The lights that look like firecrackers.
Yeah, I love that.
It's really cool. All right, and you'll see here, this particular section of the video just kind of shows, we wanted to give you an idea of the roads and how curvy. We didn't get a whole lot of the road, but it just kind of gives you an idea of how scenic and amazing it is. I think it was probably, maybe a few hundred cars that we passed by, got behind us, that we were in front of, and everybody was out there Sunday just really having a good time and enjoying themselves.
But one thing you can see here is how the city of Coeur d'Alene has really put an emphasis on the lake, because there's not many walking paths. So there's another area of Coeur d'Alene where you can walk along the lake, but this wasn't one of them. And you really can see how this one is really geared toward getting in the water and having a good time. I even have to step over the barricade to take a few pictures here, just so I can give those cars space and I can make sure that I'm being safe while I'm taking my pictures.
Which is very unusual for you, because Kaya and I were bringing the car around, and I was like, oh, I could tell there was really no place to stand. And then next thing you know, Krishan has stepped over the barricade, and I was like, what's going on here? Just because he's always usually very reserved and things like. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, he's really out. He's not playing around. He's out here to really take some photos. And so I thought that was really cool. Kaya, what did you think about this part of the trip?
I feel like there's not much here for me to speak on. I feel like I really enjoyed kind of being in the back seat and riding down the road. I was going to say, that although the colors are all the same in the summer, I don't believe this would be something you'd want to do in any other time of the year due to how treacherous the way up was. However, I think it is very beautiful, and if all the boat docks weren't private, it'd be great to, get out and take some pictures right on the water. But other than that, I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Kaya. So we have a little competition going here. So Rashawn and I got the same photo of a boat on a dock. And just like Kaya said, it was a private dock. So we weren't able to actually go in and really get a really uninhibited picture. But this first picture is Krishan's, and I like the way that he captured it in the kind of like a black and white type of scene. And then I took the same picture, kind of zoomed in just a little bit more, and I got a different, what would you say, that kind of background. I felt it, to me, it felt like an 80s shot, so something you would see like in the 80s.
And I was just thinking that your shot is old. Your shot is more 80s vibe, and mine is like more a little pre maybe like 60s or 50s before color photos. But that's what the angle I was going for. I really wanted to make that vintage feel because I saw the do not trespass signs and the vintage boat there.
Kaya, who do you think did it better, Dadams or me?
I think they're equally as good.
No, that's the safe answer. I'm the keeper of allowances, so you better know what side your bread is buttered on.
So we won't go into a lot of information on this particular park that we went to because we're going to do a whole nother video on this. We thought it was really nice. This particular part is 3.3 miles up and back, and they give full, I think, 360 degree views of the lake we were on. This is another photo that came from downtown Spokane. This is a picture that I shot. And I want to say that's a weeping willow, but don't quote me on that because usually those trees are found more southern and eastern. But it puts you in the mind of a weeping willow, and that's why I took it. I really liked it. And I like the kind of seeing the bridge like through I don't know if you call those leaves, like willowing leaves. I thought it was really pretty.
I call it a South Carolina tree.
Well, that works too. So this little trail here is kind of like up the side of the mountain overlooking the lake, right? Wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. And you'll see more in the future video. We didn't go too far into this because, like I said, we just were out there for a Sunday fun day, just trying to take pictures on the fly. But we'll go back and we'll dedicate a full video to this. We've had some adventures going up mountains in the past. I think, what was it, last winter we tried to get up a mountain 3 times before we made it up once?
Yeah, but we were trying to do it in the dead of winter, which wasn't very helpful. And it was a lot of snow, and then we were trying to carry the camera, and you can't get the camera wet and all those things. So we did finally make it up that particular mountain, and we'll do a video on that one. We haven't done a video on that one. But the one thing about Washington is it's not short on mountains, would you say?
Yeah, mountains,
Plenty
hills,
of those.
Definitely some challenging terrain.
Definitely.
But it's beautiful. I mean, if you can do your leg work and know where you're going and make sure you have the right gear and the right preparation, you can definitely do some great hiking here.
I always say, I don't know if this is more creative, like if photography, or if it's more like a workout. I think it's like both. And I'm like, man, we always walk like 2 or 3 miles when we're taking pictures. So you kind of get your workout in while you're being creative. That's got to be good for your brain, right, Kaya?
Yes. Question mark?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Seems like it would be. But anyway, so yeah, we had a really good time. Again, one of my favorite times going out and taking photos is when it's bright and sunny and hot outside. We're in short order of those days now, aren't we, Krishan? They're running low.
They're definitely in short supply.
Yeah, short supply now.
But see, now we're getting into my season when the trees change colors. You got that cool, crisp breeze going. Mm-hmm. You can do more with the camera because you don't have to worry about it overheating when you're taking video. Mm-hmm. And this shot right here was one of my favorite. I saw this shot a few months back and I wanted to go get it. If you remember back a few videos ago when we did the night photography, we were actually looking at this shot and I wanted to go back and get it. But when we got there, I was like, maybe not a good idea to walk through the park at nighttime. So I definitely made it a point to go back and get this shot.
I like that one because it's definitely is a part like it reminds me of your personality, how it's so ordered and everything is spaced perfectly and it's the same amount in the same row.
So she's saying I'm boring.
No, it's just, I'm more like, let's stop here and whatever we come to, we'll just enjoy it, more on the fly. So that's more my personality, but definitely reminds me more of you.
But it makes for a great story and
Yeah,
a
it
great
does.
adventure when you have someone who can take the time to make sure there's a well thought out plan and an exit strategy when needed. And you also need someone to say, hey, let's venture off that beaten path. Let's go down this trail, this less travel, so we can see if we can get a great picture or a great adventure down there.
Absolutely. I love this photo here. And I don't think you actually dressed that one up in Lightroom, but I love the yellow sprinkled in through the green. I thought that was really pretty. And I
Yeah,
don't know the name of it, but
Yeah, I've taken quite a few pictures like that. I do plan on in the future investing in a lens that can really grab a micro lens. They can really grab those really small flowers and bring them out. But the equipment I have now is just not made for it. So
didn't you
that's
say
something.
something about you wanted to get more of a zoom lens?
No, we have a zoom lens now. I want to get more of a wide angle lens because,
Oh.
like I said, we have some video ideas on the horizon, some like architect that would really benefit from like a shift tilt lens or a wide
Right.
angle lens.
Right, absolutely. So this is the last shot of the day here, and I don't know what berries these were. Kai and I, we stood there talking about it for like 15 minutes. So if you guys know what type of berries these are, you can leave it in the comments. But Kaya tried to get it with her iPhone, and she got a really good. Her photo might have been had a little bit better quality than my own. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed our Sunday Funday.
And stay tuned for more.
All right, I hope you all enjoyed our Sunday Funday.
And we just really love what we do and want to thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, do something nice for someone today, and you can do it.
And don't forget to shine as bright as the stars in our galaxy.
And as always, we're just ordinary people trying to do extraordinary things.
We love it.